Let's bring that back to the Bible. The fact is that the Bible predicted over 1900 years ago where we're at today, where we're coming into this whole time period where you can do this. Right. And we actually have the technology. What does that tell you?
Well, I got to tell you this. I've been preaching prophecy for almost 40 years. And when I first read this 40 years ago, I would preach it out of obedience to God with the thought, you know what? I hope nobody asks me about this because I have no idea how this could ever happen. But now when I preach it and I'm reading the paper and I'm seeing all of this, I realize this is a word from God, and it is only attributable to God. In fact, I love this passage of Scripture in Isaiah that says, I am God and there is no other, declaring the end from the beginning and from ancient times, things that are not yet done, saying, moreover, my counsel shall stand, and I shall do my good pleasure. The Bible tells us that only God could predict something that far in advance, and now we're living in a time we're seeing some of that being fulfilled.
All right, let's jump to the question that people say, well, listen, if I'm a Christian and I'm going to be raptured before the tribulation, all this stuff is really put into effect, you know, why do I have to worry about this?
I hear that question all the time, John. You know, it's all almost like, hey, I'm out of here, so if it happens to everybody else, who cares? Well, the everybody else, of course, includes people that we care about, people that we love. None of them we want to go through this. Obviously, the best thing we can do for them is get them saved and take them to heaven with us. But what this means is I should be concerned about it because as we see these things approaching, it means our time for ministry, our time for opportunity is getting smaller and smaller. And if that doesn't light our fire in terms of the urgency of the gospel, I don't know what will.